Hello, everybody. Come one, come all, for I want to tell you a story of a legendary bounty hunter who would hunt Jedi even. Went as far as to be eaten by the Sarlacc pit and survived. What did he do with this newfound life, you might ask? Absolutely nothing, because that's right, everybody. We are talking about the Book of Boba. Alright, let's get into it, everybody. The Book of Boba, Disney's newest way to take something we used to love and hold it in front of us as it beats it to death. This is the body of a tired man. A man who did not want this life, but they forced it upon him with the dark necromancy of Disney's magic. So the Book of Boba is going to be returning with Temuera Morrison, and it's basically taking up right where it left off with Boba Fett, all the way back when he was eaten by the Sarlacc. Yeah, that's right, guys. The Book of Boba is honestly pretty disappointing. It's pretty boring, and I think I'm just going to go ahead and complain about why I didn't like it. I assume everybody has seen it at this point, but let's start off by talking about the plot or lack thereof that Book of Boba tries to tell us. So episodes 1 and 2 are actually kind of cool. It's about him waking up, he escapes the Sarlacc pit, and he gets robbed immediately. The dude has it tough. He's just dying in the desert before these cute little folk find him and enslave him immediately. And they drag him across the desert as they do. And so it's a pretty cool story of, him still just trying to... They're introducing you into the struggle of Boba Fett. You think he's so cool and everything, but they're showing him at his absolute weakest, on the brink of death. And those first 2 episodes are cool. The Tusken Raiders have a Tuskeen and a Tusqueen, as you can see. And they have a nice little story where he learns to appreciate them. He saves them. They respect each other. And they even craft him a weapon before they're all brutally murdered. And it's a really cool little concealed story in those first 2 episodes. Now, mind you, the Book of Boba is 7 episodes. And within the context of what's happening, I would say it's only 5 episodes, because 2 of the episodes have nothing to do with Boba Fett. So it's like 5 episodes. The first 2 are cool, and then the next 2 that are actually about Boba Fett, nothing really happens, I must say. It's just like these long scenes, because they set him up so hard. And then he's just this old man who just talks of how cool he used to be back in the day, and then just says, but I'm not that anymore. I'm not. Boba Fett was a cold-blooded killer that worked for the Empire. He's not here right now. That's the kind of shit he's saying all throughout this. He's trying to detach himself from, the character of Boba Fett as much as he can. Sometimes it works, and most of the time it doesn't. The episodes are pretty episodic of him just going and saving wild goons. And here, I'll show you actually. In episode 3 or 4 is when they introduce to you these mobsters, the crime syndicate, or just edgy cyborg teenagers. They have, everybody's already made fun of their stupid motorbikes and how bad they look, how glossy they look. I mean, even in these 2, it looks like that one over there doesn't even look like it's a real object. That looks like a George Lucas edit, added in 20 years later. So as you can see from this picture alone, this is most of the show. Is Boba Fett standing there. He's just kind of looking at his underlings, and they're just kind of looking back at him because nobody knows what to do until the cyborg girl, she's pretty sweet, she comes into action and saves the day, usually at the end of it. And that's just to mention side characters that already had no potential. They introduce these guys, and they're introduced as dumb, so you can already just kind of laugh them off. But then they start introducing some people that are a little more serious, a little more heavyweight, I might say. Somebody like this strapping young lad. This is a Wookiee bounty hunter assassin that within about 10 minutes of an episode is introduced, hired, beats Boba Fett's ass, and then loses and runs away. And that's his whole arc. And there's just like this such weird pacing of the show where they introduce cool people like this giant monstrous Wookiee with electric brass knuckles, and they make him suck. They just don't do anything with him. And I feel like none of this show was really ever meant to be about Boba Fett. You know, this whole show is just like an ad for other stuff. And I feel like Star Wars is truly becoming the next Marvel in that sense. So on top of adding, characters that already are lame and they do nothing with it, on top of adding characters that have a lot of potential and doing nothing with it, out of nowhere, they decide, because it's like the whole show is just switching between him taking naps and him going and talking to other people until he's too worn out and like is ready for another nap. It really is just like Grandpa Boba Fett, in and out. So you're watching, and you're 4 episodes in at this point, and you're thinking like, man, there's only, like 6, 7 episodes? I really hope that they start getting towards somewhere at a certain point, instead of just showing characters that we've already seen or characters that we don't care about. And instead of that, this show, out of nowhere, 1 episode decides, you know what, this might be Book of Boba, but now it's Chapter Mandalorian Season 3. And then 2 episodes in a row, the 2 best episodes in the whole season, the whole series of Book of Boba, have nothing to do with him. Out of nowhere, the show just comes with this fire. It comes with Mando. He's got his new Beskar armor. He's got his dark saber that Luke Skywalker helped him get. He's fucking shit up. He's like going and fighting other Mandalorians for the sake of the sword. He's getting banished from his own order of the Mandalorians. In the first, 15, 20 minutes of episode 5, in Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 1, they not only develop Mandalorian more, but they give you more story, they add more lore, and they give you more to look forward to of a different show. I didn't even want it to go back to Boba Fett after they had the Mandalorian. Why would you? You got Mandalorian literally chopping people in half with a dark lightsaber, and then you have Boba Fett, and the poster shows it all. That's what he does this entire show. He just boredly, tiredly sits back with a big old dent in his head and does nothing. He has very he has very casual conversations with other people that lead to nothing and go nowhere. Any real fight that he gets in, he is saved by Fennec Shand, Mina Wen, who did a really good job. She was but beneath Mando, she was the coolest, for sure. So to get back to Mandalorian, they literally just totally throw Boba Fett to the side, and they start focusing on him. He goes and sees Grogu. They're showing Luke Skywalker again. They're showing, I forget her name, but the Jedi woman who is a Mandalorian Season 2. Episodes 5 and 6 are so good, and they shouldn't even be in the Book of Boba Fett, because for one, those 2 episodes alone ruin the rest of the show, because Boba Fett sucks now. I'm sorry to say it. I went into episodes 1 and 2 really wanting to like it. The dude sucks and he's boring. So they randomly, whoa, oh god, I pissed off Boba Fett. Now he's ready to get back at me. So you got 4 episodes of nothing. 4 episodes of nothing. And then you get 2 episodes of gold. Just like pure gold. Just such good, pure Star Wars. And then the last episode, they try to combine the 2 of like Boba Fett and Mandalorian. And the entire last episode is just like a 50-minute fight scene. Which normally I would say is cool or something, but there's no stakes. I can't do it where you introduce Cad Bane, try to establish him as a threat, and then kill him in the same episode. What kind of bullshit writing is this? Is it that hard to show Cad Bane killing the sheriff of Goodville in the first episode? They couldn't have started establishing villains early on? Everything good or cool about the show either has nothing to do with it or is in the last episode to where it's like you don't even care at that point. I fell asleep and it was stuff that I finally liked in the show. Oh yeah, Cad Bane from the cartoon, he's like specializes in hunting Jedi and stuff. No, dead. Dead. Fuck you. And then even like I said, the things that you do like, hey, remember the Rain Corps? Well, the Rain Corps is like a scared, stupid puppy now. And, you know, it's a puppy because it's cute and cuddly, but then everything scares it. And, like, I feel like I get it's a baby Raincore, and they have him riding it, and even that, it was okay. You definitely notice, like a really big theme throughout this show. It's the theme of, like, friendship is magic. It's so strange how everything ties into friendship. Boba Fett's the nicest guy, and his whole thing now is just about peace and being a kind daimyo, which he doesn't even do. At the end of the show, after nothing happens and he just kind of sat around declaring himself the new sheriff in town, he just looks to his right hand and goes like, you know, maybe I don't want to do this. It's too much work. I'd rather go nap. And it just seems like this whole like Disneyfying of everything. You know, where everything's like lighter now. Everything has to be family friendly. You know, I seem to remember a time in Star Wars where friendship got you thrown into a pit of lava. Friendship got you evaporated into the Force. It got you killed. It got you chopped in half, you see. Friendship was like the worst thing you could possibly have in Star Wars. Minus like Luke and Han Solo and Leia. Their friendship made sense. But no, now friendship is everything. Friendship is magic. Your enemies will love you because you're friends now. Basically, they're stupid. She's a cyborg. He's a pussy. And I'm out of here. Later, guys.